Tonight on NAIT NewsWatch.
Find out what bars are doing to increase patron safety.
They didn't want to help me. They were just more focused on serving drinks at night.
The government of Alberta announces new plans for childcare in the province.
Up to 1,000 new childcare spaces, up to 230 new childcare jobs province-wide.
And university students strip down and freeze up for a good cause.
NewsWatch starts now.
Good evening. It's Saturday night, and you or someone you know may be heading out to the bars to enjoy themselves. But how do you know if a venue is safe?
A program called Best Bar None encourages bars to take pride in their dedication to responsible liquor service. Our Mackenzie Owens joins us live from the South Lobby with more on that story.
That's right, and not only are the bars becoming more aware of safety, but customers are as well.
Like most young adults, Emma Ross enjoys going out to the bar and having a few drinks. But after a few bad experiences, she's become more selective about the venues she visits.
This one time, I felt overserved. You know, I wanted some water, but they kept asking me if I wanted more drinks, and I kept ordering more drinks. And at the end of the night, I asked for help to try and get a taxi, or if there's any taxis outside, and it just seems like they didn't want to help me. They were just more focused on serving drinks at night.
The Best Bar None program aims to reduce the risk of alcohol-related harm by setting high standards for establishments in safety and quality.
How's the food tasting so far, guys?
We joined the AGLC on the Best Bar None tour, visiting 4 different locations that are all Best Bar None accredited, to learn what it takes to get a plaque on the door.
To be able to get accredited, a bar needs to go through a 104-point checklist that covers best practices that range from fire safety to patron management to something just as simple as how do they manage broken glass.
Organizers believe customers and staff both benefit from these safe practices and that they're creating a better bar scene in Edmonton. For Emma, she says she'll keep an eye out for the plaques to help her decide where she'll go out in the future.
That's a good feeling to know that there's people out there looking out for you, and that bars will be certified.
Best Bar None also gives awards to pubs and bars that go above and beyond to ensure patron safety, and those will be happening next week.
How many bars in Edmonton are Best Bar None accredited?
Well, Michael, there's currently 68 bars that reach these high standards.
Mackenzie, what's the history of the program? Where did it start?
The program began in Manchester, England in 2003 and has been growing in popularity ever since. AGLC brought it over to Edmonton in 2010.
Thanks, Mackenzie. That's Mackenzie Owens reporting live from the South Lobby tonight.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch.
The province has announced a plan to create more affordable daycare spaces in Alberta. With hopes to cap the fees at $25 a day, Premier Rachel Notley outlined her government's plan to improve the current state of childcare in the province.
Under the Future Ready umbrella, our government is providing funding for 18 early learning and childcare centres that will create up to 1,000 new childcare spaces, up to 230 new childcare jobs province-wide, and economic security for parents entering the workforce.
Joined by cabinet ministers as well as parents, Notley said the locations of the new childcare centres will be revealed in early 2017.
This week, the Hope Mission became the first homeless shelter in Edmonton to start operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The grand opening took place on Wednesday to officially announce that 150 new day beds are now available round the clock for those in need, especially as the winter season approaches.
Time that as a broad community, we stepped up and shouldered the real load on this and helped our fellow citizens live lives of real dignity.
This initiative is a pilot project to determine if indeed there is an increased demand for more beds. The Hope Mission says it provides over 1,000 meals a day and provides shelter for up to 500 people on a daily basis.
Edmonton police are warning drivers about an online scam that has surfaced over the last 2 weeks. Numerous complaints to EPS have brought attention to an online traffic ticket scam that sends fake traffic tickets via email at random. The email comes with a supposed attached traffic ticket from EPS, and police are warning the public to be mindful of the scam.
Bad guys are not short of creativity when they like to prey on members of the public. So we're advising people, should you receive an email and it appears to be from the Edmonton Police Service, please just press delete. It is not from the Edmonton Police Service.
Pattison added traffic tickets are issued through Alberta Justice, and EPS would never send a ticket via email.
The city has made changes to dozens of intersections as part of its Vision Zero plan to reduce traffic accidents. The city spent more than $5 million this year to improve more than 30 intersections. The work done included adding more signage as well as new traffic and pedestrian signals.
Some other places and you're driving, you think, oh, there was never a left turn lane there before, a left turn signal, or there's pedestrian lights here and I haven't seen them before. You're beginning to see those changes, as well as you'll see many of our ad campaigns.
Improvements were also made to many school zones, which added crosswalk improvements and fluorescent signage.
The City of Edmonton released a set of preliminary flood maps last week, and it may surprise you where some of the troubled areas are. This city decided to commission an investigation into 160 of Edmonton's older residential neighborhoods after severe storms in 2004 and 2012 overwhelmed the city's drainage system. The maps identify which areas could be prone to flooding in the event of heavy storms.
The maps are really for the engineering side of it. This is what we're using to then move forward with mitigation measures that we're going to be bringing forward to Council in Q2 of 2017.
This city plans to address what infrastructure is needed later next year. In the meantime, the maps are available to the public on the City of Edmonton's website.
Members of the business community gathered this week for a luncheon and learning opportunity on reducing waste and boosting efficiency. The gathering was aimed at improving ongoing efforts to boost the city's economy and help bring attention to the Zero Waste Initiative, which helps to minimize the amount of improperly disposed goods completely.
For us, this is really important. The whole circular economy, Zero Waste Council is a really important component of the vision of the city and really important to us as part of our strategy moving forward.
Ward stressed the importance of waste reduction as the Edmonton Waste Management Centre processes 500,000 tons of waste every year. Research has shown that today's business practices will generate a global resource gap of 8 billion tons by 2030.
Mayor Don Iveson is asking for your opinion on whether the city should change the look of its flag. He put forward a motion at City Council asking administration to collect public input. Local sculptor and designer Ryan McCourt's design for a new flag is widely being discussed as a potential replacement for the current flag, which was adopted by Edmonton City Council back in 1966.
Well, my flag is essentially a simplified version of the symbols that are on Edmonton's coat of arms right now, which is the coat of arms that's featured on our current flag. So it's really just an update, a modernization, just to essentially make it bolder, but reduce the amount of detail and the number of colors, that sort of thing. Yeah.
City Council is expected to discuss the flag at the end of the month. We asked followers on Twitter their thoughts on the flag debate. 30% said to keep the current version, while 60% said they want to see other submissions first before deciding.
The city recognized the contribution, achievements, and history of the Métis people on Monday as they officially declared November 13th to 19th Métis Week in Edmonton. Community leaders representing the city and the province were on hand at City Hall to bring attention to the culture and contributions that the Métis community bring to society in the capital region.
This is Métis Week, and Métis Week to us is a time for sharing, a time for learning from others, but others learning from us so that we all can live and grow together.
Alberta is home to approximately 97,000 Métis people. The Métis flag was also raised outside City Hall as part of the event.
Well, temperatures are slowly but surely decreasing. But in spite of that, University of Alberta students braved the cold on Tuesday and took a plunge in support of a great cause. Students and teachers took to the outdoors as a cold pool was set up for groups to sign up and take a plunge to raise money in support of the United Way.
We get the school involved, so we have Gooba, we have the lion mascot from the United Way, and it's just a big party.
This is the 11th annual event, and organizers are very happy with the way it continues to tie in fun with a charitable cause.
Coming up after the break, students are getting prepared for life after graduation.
The job hunt is on, and it all starts with a good resume. And NAIT is there to help.
If you're not really sure what the options are, you can make an appointment with us.
Hi, I'm Carter Armandi. Coming up next in sports, the Ooks ice hockey team has a big game. The women's volleyball takes on one of the league's best. The Edmonton Eskimos return home after a successful playoff weekend, and I learned how to shoot a bow and arrow.
Hey, I'm Mason, and after having some record-breaking highs and the warmest start to November we've seen since 1949, we're getting back down to the regular temperatures for this month. We are going to be seeing some cold temperatures, actually the coldest that we've had since January, but will you need to break out those shovels for the weekend? I'll have that and more coming up in weather.
Well, we certainly have had a beautiful start to November, and we've even managed to break some record highs, Mike.
I think we've been pretty lucky. We haven't even had to break out our winter tires yet. But I do think that the luck is running out. Our Mason Olvestad has more in weather.
Yeah, guys, it might be time to dust off those winter jackets as we are seeing this coldest string of days since the middle of January. But still no signs of the snow sticking around, so I wouldn't worry about those winter tires just yet. Over in Calgary, it's looking to be pretty clear on Sunday. Actually, it's the only region to reach above zero as we have a low of -9 and a high of +4, so it should be pretty nice in Calgary on Sunday. Jasper, we're having a partly cloudy day. It's actually the only day expected not to snow, but we're still going to have a low of -11 and a high of only -2 with a 20% chance of precipitation. In Fort McMurray, we have a moisture front kind of moving in from the west and coming up to the north, so there's a chance of snow in the morning, but there should be clearing off by the evening as we see a low of -8 and only a high of -5 with a 70% chance of precipitation. Over onto Edmonton, it should be pretty cloudy with some snowflakes here and there, but it should be the perfect day to actually watch the Eskimos game from the comfort of your own home. With a high of -3 and a low of -9 and a 20% chance of precipitation, definitely recommend staying inside for that day. The averages for today, we're sitting pretty comfortably as we have a low average of -8 and a high average of -1. So we're right in between there very comfortably. We have a record high of 17 in 1890 and a record low of -37 in 1896. That weekend in 1896, actually one of the coldest we have seen in the month of November. So we could always have it worse. That's it for weather. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Weather, brought to you by NR92, the station for the students.
It's getting to the end of the semester now, and students are working towards finding their jobs.
That's right, but NAIT is offering services to help with the search. Our Kevin Kyle reports.
You're listening to NR92, the station for the students. I'm Kelso. This is Pumped Up Kid.
Kelsey is a third semester radio student and preparing to finish his courses while waiting for the practicum that he has set up for next semester.
I lucked out pretty good because I started doing volunteer work and working for a station, so I got my practicum pretty quick.
While he may not have needed a resume ready to get his job, NAIT is still helping him get ready for the field.
He gives us feedback on those shows, so it's really interactive and really hands-on here, and I absolutely think that prepares us for the real world.
While Kelsey may have been lucky enough to find work right away, not all students are that fortunate. As such, NAIT offers preparation counseling for students and alumni to help them find work in the field.
Give them feedback on resume cover letter strategies, or the other service we can do with that is a mock interview, so a practice interview.
At this time of the year, there is a great demand for the service, but even if it's not needed now, some are happy that they can fall back to it.
Yeah, definitely. That's always an option because I can't do stuff like that on my own, as well as if someone were to help me. So yeah, probably either a family member, probably my mom, or come back and use services such like the ones they offer at NAIT for sure.
For NAIT NewsWatch, I'm Kevin Kyle.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to the big football game this weekend from the Eskimos, but I do have some concerns about our quarterback, Mike Riley.
Well, Mike, so do I. I mean, he did take quite a big hit in Hamilton last weekend, but Carter Raimondi was at Eskimos practice this week, and I understand you have an update for us.
Yeah, I've learned a bit more about the quarterback situation, and things are looking good for the former Grey Cup MVP. The Eskimos are gearing up for the Eastern Conference Final tomorrow, and this is the team's second time crossing over into the final. The Esks defeated the Hamilton Ticats by a score of 24-21, but all eyes were on starting quarterback Mike Riley, as late in the fourth quarter of that game he seemed to have injured his hand and was removed for the rest of the game. However, both head coach Jason Maas and the quarterback himself were confident that he would be the go-to man in tomorrow's Eastern Final game, a rematch of last year's Grey Cup versus Ottawa.
You know, obviously, you know, we reevaluated him after the game, and, you know, he's out here today. It's a good thing for us.
I feel great. I mean, I didn't feel like I was hindered in any way today coming out to practice. So, you know, just sore from the game in general.
Kickoff for the East Final is at 11, and the Esks are going to be holding a viewing party at Central Social Hall on Jasper Ave at 11 as well. The Ooks men's hockey team is undefeated in the month of November, and with 3 decisive victories, they are looking to keep that streak going in the second half of a back-to-back showdown against Briarcrest. Picking this one up early in the first, Ooks already up 2-0. The puck gets cycled cross-crease and into the slot where Kyler Henn outweights the goalie and slides home a pretty shot from a foot out. Briarcrest runs into some penalty problems, but while shorthanded, they catch an odd man rush. Josh Anderson takes the one-time pass to get them on the board. Ooks back on the attack early in the second, and on the power play, Billy Gastian slides home the huge rebound from the point shot, putting the Ooks up 6-1. Ooks double that score and take the game 12-3. After the game, Tim Fragel was pleased with the team's victory and said the Ooks sent a clear message.
Today the message was better scoring habits around the net, and clearly when you score 12 that there was, you know, some evidence of that today.
The U of A men's soccer team recently returned from a major national tournament and brought home some new hardware.
Header on the far side, and that one's in!
The Bears are CIS national champs after defeating the University of Quebec in Montreal 1-2-0 over the weekend. Head coach Len Vickery was extremely pleased with the win and credits their team's hard work throughout the regular season and making the most of opportunities in the playoffs.
Through a regular season and playoffs, there's a lot of work to be done just to get there, but once you get there, it's an opportunity to set your goals a little bit higher, because now a national championship is at play, and that's what the players tend to do. They work their utmost in the initial stages to get there, but once they get there, they set their targets a little bit higher.
This week at the End Zone Challenge, I try to test my skills out with a bow, arrow, and some bullseyes. So today for the End Zone Challenge, we're at Wild Archery Pro Shop in Lanes, and I have Justin here with me today. He's going to give me a bit of pointers and teach me how to use bow and arrow. Justin, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little about the bows we're going to be shooting today.
Well, these are a recurve bow, relatively lightweight, because we always want to start people off with an easy weight to shoot with. just until they get the hang of things. And you're going to take an arrow. It's going to go on underneath that little brass knot there, just on yours. And these fins on the back, these are your veins. And you always want to make sure that the odd colored vein always faces away from the bow.
Ooh, pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of a competition so you can get closest to the bullseye. Justin, you're gonna use your bow. What kind of bow is this?
Well, this is a Hoyt Carbon Spider Turbo. It's a compound bow. It's one of the best of the best.
Cool. Well, those are three pretty close shots there.
Haven't shot in a while.
Well, I think I might call that one beginner's luck a little bit. But
I think you're cheating.
What?
I totally think you're cheating.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much for teaching me how to do that. I had a blast. Definitely harder than it looks. But
Yes, it is.
I think with a little practice, I can become a little better. So.
I think so. I think they should start calling you Robin Hood.
Maybe. Okay, thank you.
Well, I'm glad to hear that Mike Riley is confident about playing this weekend, and pretty good job at the archery there, Carter. Looks like you actually have some skills.
Yeah, there is no way, Carter, that you did not move those arrows.
Well, I think that's going to be a secret. Nobody but me, Jason, and my cameraman, Kevin Kyle, will know what the result of that really was. But thanks, guys.
Coming up after the break, we teamed with the Christmas Bureau for their Christmas season kickoff.
We participated in the annual Gingerbread House competition in support of the Bureau.
To help people who otherwise will have a pretty bleak Christmas.
Coming up in entertainment, it's all about musicals, Ukrainian dancing, and movies. And you'll also get to see what's going on inside my head.
Hair services provided by Rock Salon and Spa.
The Christmas season is fast approaching, and Merrick and I and members of the NewsWatch team took part in a special holiday event.
That's right, Mike. The Christmas Bureau has officially launched its 2016 campaign, and the NewsWatch team was lucky enough to be included in the 11th annual Media Gingerbread Building competition.
Founded in 1940, the Christmas Bureau of Edmonton has worked hard to provide a warm, festive meal and spirit of sharing to all those in need in the city and surrounding areas.
I think the number is 70,000 people will be served by the Christmas Bureau hampers. Edmontonians, we really need your help this year to help people who otherwise will have a pretty bleak Christmas.
To donate or volunteer to the Christmas Bureau this season, you can call 780-454-6074.
Well, competing against fellow members of the media was certainly a great experience, but as you can see, we didn't exactly take home first prize. Although I hear that entertainment had much better success this week, from Broadway musicals to virtual gaming.
You know, I've never gotten the chance to try virtual gaming before, but I hear it's quite the experience. Our Haley Stelmack has that and much more in entertainment.
It was a very fun week in entertainment. To kick it off, fans of the Broadway musical Mamma Mia got a chance to see the show one last time in Edmonton. The popular musical is on its final farewell tour. Mamma Mia, does it show again? The Broadway show, based on songs by ABBA, has been gracing stages for the past 15 years. It is the 8th longest running show in Broadway history, so it was no surprise that the spectacle amazed the Edmonton audience as they played 3 shows in our city. Fans shared their favorite part of the farewell celebration.
It was probably the part where they were singing My Last Summer. That just brought back memories and all sorts of stuff. The whole thing was fantastic.
The show will give a final bow in 2017. A new business in Edmonton is taking customers to places they never dreamed possible. At Breakout VR, people slip on a virtual reality headset and are instantly transported into a new world where they control the environment. The technology combines the use of a VR headset, panels, and sensors which tracks the player's movement and bring them to life in the game.
So in this game, I'm an archer protecting my castle. Grab that, grab the arrow, and you shoot people. That's kind of just this game. But once you get into it, it's very interactive, and everything happens really quickly that you kind of forget you're playing a game, and it does become not only virtual reality, but almost reality.
This new form of entertainment is the first permanent space for virtual gaming in Edmonton. Some young performers are hoping to dance their way onto the big stage for the Ukrainian Nutcracker. Dozens of dancers showed up to the audition for a role in Clara's Dream. The production brings Ukrainian Christmas traditions to life on stage, and these kids put their best foot forward and let it all out for their auditions. Something creative director John Pitchlick says is very important.
We're looking for kids that have the courage emotionally, where you just throw caution to the wind and you let yourself go and present and perform what's inside your heart.
11 of these dancers will be chosen to make their debut in the show. Clara's Dream hits the stage for 3 shows only, starting December 29th at the Jubilee Auditorium, and tickets are on sale now at ticketmaster.ca. Brad Pitt returns to the big screen in the upcoming British America romantic thriller, Allied.
Heard a lot about you. Said you were beautiful. And good.
Set during World War II, Pitt plays Canadian intelligence officer Max Vitan, who falls in love with French resistance fighter Marianne Beauséjour. Played by Marianne Cotillard, their relationship is put to the test after his love is accused of working for the Germans. He does all he can to clear her name.
What are our odds? Surviving 60-40 against.
Directed by Academy Award winner Robert Zemeckis, this movie is one to keep you on the edge of your seat. You can catch Allied in theaters November 23rd. And it's a lucky day for giveaways, whether you're a movie lover or gamer. We have passes to Allied and passes to Breakout VR. If you would like a chance to win, tweet us at NAIT NewsWatch with the word Allied for movie passes or virtual reality for Breakout VR passes. That's all for entertainment. Have a great weekend.
So, Merrick, are you planning on catching that Eskimos game this weekend?
Definitely, Mike. It's definitely going to be interesting. I mean, top 2 receivers in the league, Bowman and Walker for the Eskimos. It's going to be interesting to see how they use the passing game in Ottawa.
Well, we certainly wish the best of luck to our green and gold. That's it for NAIT NewsWatch this week. Thank you for joining us.
And have a great weekend.